All right, guys, Jeff Larish here from the DRC. I'm a former Major League Baseball player, and we get a lot of athletes that come in here with knee problems, osteoarthritis and patellar tendonitis, all that type of stuff. And so I'm gonna cover some things that you can do to actually help alleviate those issues. The number one thing to do is to get a lacrosse ball. This is gonna provide some soft tissue work, get a little bit deeper than a foam roller will, target it a little bit easier, and really trying to strip away some of that tightness that you can get in there. And then I'm also gonna talk about some contrast work, but let's start with the lacrosse ball. I'm gonna cover some areas to hit on and exactly what to do with this. So the first place to start with this lacrosse ball is gonna be the IT band and the quad complex. So a lot of times what happens is there's tightness in through the IT band and quad, and that can cause some pulling. It can cause some other issues going around the knee. So we're gonna hit those spots first. The areas we're trying to hit just below the hip. You can choose 2 points on the mid quad, mid IT band, and then one right above the knee. What you're gonna start out by doing is you're gonna start out picking a spot. So we'll start right underneath the hip. You're going to try to stack your feet and get as much weight as you can into that ball and almost just sink into it. If you're comfortable, you can start to lay down. That'll get you a little bit more pressure in there. If you're on the right spot, it will kind of take your breath away, so don't be alarmed by that, but it should not send any tingling down your leg or radiate throughout the body. That means you're kind of on some nerves, and we want to be on the muscle. So you're going to hang out there for about 10 deep breaths, and then you're going to switch spots, moving it down to that mid quad, mid IT band, and you're going to go ahead and just sink in, get as much pressure as you can handle down in through that ball. Again, 10 deep breaths. You'll move it down to that second portion of the mid IT band. And again, 10 deep breaths there. You'll move it down just above the knee. Stack your feet. Try and get your hips off the ground to put a little bit more weight into it. And then you'll get 10 deep breaths there. You want to get each leg just because we want to be balanced. But the next spot you'll hit, you're going to do the same exact thing down through the quad. And if you're really tight, you can start to work a little bit more on that outer side of the quad, and you can also kind of hit on the inner side as well. After you get done with that, a good place to hit is going to be right around the top arc of the knee. Again, you want to stay on the muscle with that. You're laying on the ball and you're just trying to sink into it. We're not rolling on the ball. You're just sinking into it, getting as much pressure to try and release some of the tightness in there. The last spot to hit is just to get in a kneeling position, and you can kind of just gently find some spots, maybe where you're starting to feel some pain. Maybe it's on the inside part of the knee. For me, I really like to kind of target that outside part of the knee. It does take a little bit of balance here, but you don't want, on this one, you don't want to completely get your whole body off the ground. You do just want to keep your opposite knee on the ground and just gently kind of press in. Find a spot that might, like I said, take your breath away. You'll kind of know when you're on that spot, and just hang out here for 10 breaths again. So one of the best recovery tools aside from the lacrosse ball is going to be contrast. Contrast is getting in a hot shower and then an ice bath. For the hot shower, you want to make sure the temperature is about 100 to 110 degrees, or as hot as you can stand it. And then the ice bath, you're going to want to get 3 bags of ice, fill it up with water, and for that you're going to want about 52 to 55 degrees. The important thing on that is to get in the hot and let that shower just run over as much of your body as you can. And then in the ice bath, you got to get neck deep. The biggest thing is this is going to allow you to get a natural blood pump to and from the heart, and by getting neck deep, you're really able to hit that. That blood is going to help repair the muscles, tendons, and ligaments. So try those 2 things out. That should help to alleviate the pain. Have the best day you've ever had.